Today we're going to be looking at how to convert fractions into decimals. To show this, we have a couple of examples that we're going to work through, so let's get started. Up top here, we can see that in order for us to convert fractions into decimals, we're going to divide the value of our numerator by the value of our denominator. So for our first fraction of 1/4, we're going to divide the value of our numerator, which in this case is 1, by the value of our denominator, which in this case is 4. Now, since we're converting these numbers into decimals, we're just going to go ahead and add our decimal place into both our dividend as well as into our answer, because we already know that our answer is going to be less than 1 since a fraction is less than 1. So when we try and make a group of 4 out of 1, we can't, so we're going to write our 0 up top, and then we're going to multiply 0 times 4, which we know gives us 0, and then when we subtract 0 from 1, we're left with 1. Now we're going to add our placeholder 0. So we have a 0 that we're going to bring down, giving us 10. And then we're going to think, how many equal groups of 4 can we make out of 10? Well, we know that we can make 2 equal groups of 4 out of 10. So we're going to extend our division bar, and then we're going to multiply 2 times 4, which we know gives us 8. So we'll write our 8, and then we'll subtract 8 from 10, which we know leaves us with 2. So we're not quite done with this division problem yet, so we're going to add another placeholder 0 to bring down, giving us 20. Now we're going to think, how many equal groups of 4 can we make out of 20? Well, we know that we can make 5 equal groups of 4 out of 20, and then when we multiply 5 times 4, we get 20, so then we're going to subtract 20 from 20, which leaves us with 0. So we're done with this division problem. So when we convert the fraction of 1/4 into a decimal, we get 25 hundredths as our decimal. So now let's move on to our second fraction, where this time we're being asked to convert the fraction of 3/8 into a decimal. Setting up this division problem, we have a numerator of 3, and we're going to be dividing that numerator of 3 by 8, because that's the value of our denominator. We already know that we're going to be going into our decimal places here, so we're going to write our decimal to the right of our whole number, and then we're also going to write the decimal up top in our answer as well. Now we can start working through the division steps from left to right. Well, we can't make a group of 8 out of 3, so we're going to write a 0 up top, and then we're going to multiply 0 times 8, which we know gives us 0, and then we're going to subtract 0 from 3, which is going to leave us with 3. Now we need a number to bring down, and this is where our placeholder zeros come into play. So we're going to include a couple placeholder zeros and extend our division bar. Next, we're going to drop down one of those placeholder zeros, giving us 30. And now we're going to think, how many groups of 8 can we make out of 30? Well, we know that we can make 3 equal groups of 8 out of 30, and when we multiply 3 times 8, we get 24, and then when we subtract 24 from 30, we're left with 6. Now, since we're not done, we're going to bring down our next placeholder 0, giving us 60. Now we're going to repeat the division steps, except this time we're thinking, how many groups of 8 can we make out of 60? Well, we know that we can make 7 equal groups of 8 out of 60, and then when we multiply 7 times 8, we get 56, so we'll write the 56, and then when we take away 56 from 60, we're left with 4. Now, we're still not done, so we're going to add another placeholder 0 and drop it down, which is going to give us 40. Now we're going to think, how many groups of 8 can we make out of 40? Well, we know that we can make 5 equal groups of 8 out of 40, and then when we multiply 5 times 8, we get 40, and then when we subtract 40 from 40, we're left with 0. So we're done with this division problem. So when we convert the fraction of 3/8 into a decimal, we get the decimal of 375 thousandths, which we're going to round up to 38 hundredths. So hopefully by now you understand how to convert fractions into decimals. Help make math less complicated by smashing those like and subscribe buttons. As always, enjoy today's math journey.